come even better than that.
Honourable members of the National Assembly, distinguished colleagues, partners and fellow champions of good governance, ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me in the interest of time more than anything else to protocols already established, and just to say what an honour and privilege it is to be here to talk to you on behalf of the British High Commissioner. So good morning. What I'd like to do is not just share a message of goodwill, but also to reaffirm our shared commitment to the principles that anchor democratic accountability. Findings are not shelved, but acted upon. Because when audit reports gather dust, so too does public confidence. Let us also embrace innovation, from digital auditors to citizen engagement in our oversight functions. The future of accountability is participatory, transparent, and tech-enabled. To make lasting progress, Nigeria needs strong legal frameworks. A new audit law would be a game changer. And I applaud the organisers of this conference.
All the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Let's put our hands together as we warmly welcome him up here.
Good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. We've been advised to be very mean on observing protocol. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, permit me to stand on the protocol that has been established by preceding speakers as I bring this message of goodwill from the today that I bring this goodwill on behalf of the Continental Public Accounts Committees, on behalf of the entire membership, as I extend appreciation to the Nigerian Federal Assembly for the leadership onto the continent in focusing and refocusing our commitment, which is a shared goal as we move into the future. This forum is a clear demonstration of Nigeria's commitment to strengthening public financial management and enhancing transparency and challenges we face across the continent in our shared aspirations. Today, more than ever, the role of public accounts committees and other public finance management committees of the survival and credibility of our democracies. Our people demand answers. They demand for transparency. They demand that public accounts serve a public good and function. And as parliamentarians on the continent, we must rise to that call and occasion. This is not just a national event in shared goal and innovations. As chairperson of AfroPAC, I wish to reaffirm our commitment to supporting the work of PACs across the continent in building the momentum from our recent AfroPAC Public Accounts Committees. We now see Nigeria as a strategic partner and anchor in this mission, especially as we prepare for the upcoming WAPAC conference, which Nigeria will graciously host. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to focus on Nigeria as a country. Nigeria stands at fiscal crossroads. Our collective aspirations for social equity and intergenerational prosperity hinges on one critical foundation, and that is transparency and accountability in our public finance management systems. The Public Accounts Committees, as constitutional and statutory watchdog of public expenditure, play a pivotal role in ensuring that public resources are managed prudently, efficiently, and with the highest sense of responsibility. Across the globe, nations that have embraced fiscal transparency have reaped dividends in the form of increased investor confidence, reduced corruption, and strengthened democratic institutions. For Nigeria, the challenge is not lack of vision or policy framework. It is often the gap between intention and implementation. This forum presents a unique opportunity to bridge that gap. To chart the new course, we must reinforce 4 key pillars in that direction, and they include the following, in my humble view. First, we must institutionalize open budgeting and real-time public access to financial data. Citizens should not only know how funds are allocated, but also how they are actually spent. This is a bedrock of participatory governance. The second pillar is we must strengthen our audit institutions and ensure they operate independently, fearlessly, and without interference. Timely audit reports accompanied by a follow-through action from oversight bodies like yours will send a clear signal that impunity has no place in our modern management system and regime. Thirdly, capacity building must be prioritized. A transparent system is only as strong as the people who run it. Training public officers in ethics, financial management, and digital accountability tools must become a standard and not an option. Finally, let's embrace innovation. Digital tools such as the procurement blockchain for contract management and digital assisted can revolutionize how we track and verify public expenditure. Honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your committee's role is more than a reactive. In public accounts, we are often referred to as post. It is a strategic institution. By ensuring fiscal transparency today, you help safeguard sustainable development for tomorrow. I therefore urge you to remain courageous in your duty, collaborative in your approach, and relentless in your pursuit for public good. Let this gathering not only reflect, but also inspire. Let it spark a new legislation, sharper enforcement, and a wider civic engagement in fiscal governance. Once again, I want to thank you for inviting me and inviting AfroPac to this important occasion. I don't want to leave without thanking my host and my brother for last night's engagement of training me on how to swallow the spices without other people noticing. And I also thank you for having visited us in Kampala, and I want to thank the Public Accounts Committee, both alternatives. I thank you very much. I now feel like an
Honorable Midad, Your Excellencies,
time when the demand for accountability, transparency, and prudent fiscal management across all levels of government have never been more critical. It provides a unique opportunity for key stakeholders in public finance, governance, and oversight to share knowledge, deepen collaboration, and craft innovative solutions to the fiscal challenges of our time. As head of the Civil Service of the Federation, I must underscore the pivotal role that the civil service plays in driving and institutionalizing the principles of good governance. Our policies and actions directly influence public trust, and our systems must therefore reflect the higher standards of resonate strongly with the ongoing reforms in the Federal Civil Service. Through the implementation of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan, we are strengthening accountability frameworks, promoting fiscal discipline, and repositioning our institutions to become more citizen-centered and service-driven. I am particularly pleased with the session on interagency and intergovernmental coordination and peer learning mechanisms for public service delivery, which is to come up later in this conference. No single institution can deliver effective public service in isolation. It is only through robust coordination, cross-learning, and mutual accountability that we can create a seamless governance ecosystem that delivers real results to our people. Permit me to commend the Public Accounts Committees of the National Assembly and the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation and all our development partners for convening and sustaining this vital conversation. I also extend my appreciation to all participants, including the very transformative permanent secretaries, directors, and others who are participating in this conference. I also commend the state actors, academics, and experts whose contributions will no doubt enrich the outcomes of this engagement. On behalf of the entire Federal Civil Service, I wish this conference fruitful deliberations and enduring outcomes. May our collective insights and national development. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Can I call for yet another resounding applause for the head of Civil Service of the Federation? Thank you, ma'am. Such a great partner to the National Assembly, not only just public accounts and the other ones, but of course the entire National Assembly's activities. Thank you very, very much. Again, would like to appreciate the presence of all of you, because your presence here means very much to us, and to then invite His Excellency Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, the Deputy Governor of Nasser State, who is the only elected Deputy Governor here with us, to then speak on behalf of his Governor, Engineer A.A. Sule, and of course extend it to the Nigerian Governors Forum. Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, if you're still here. Okay, I'm told he has stepped out. In the light of that, we'll be stepping down very quickly, and then we call on the next person. But before we invite the next speaker, please permit me to recognize the Peter Izunaso. Please a warm round of applause for him as well, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I see that the President's representative has stepped out, but allow me to begin by acknowledging the presence of Mr. President, ably represented by the Minister of State Finance, President of the Senate, also represented by my own friend and brother, Senator Abdul Ningi, principal officers of the National Assembly, distinguished senators and members of the House, representative of governors. It's a very long list. Let me save time. Please allow me to stand on existing protocol. But let me especially acknowledge the, when you invite many agencies, at times they don't come. But the head of immigration came in Nandap. This is about the third time I'm meeting her at a conference. She attends in person, she comes early, and she remains there till the end of the program. I think it speaks to qualitative, purposeful leadership. So, my sister, I greet you. The words you hear henceforth are the words of Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON, Speaker of the House of Representatives. He's away on official duties and has asked me to stand in for him. So I read his speech. I sincerely thank and warmly welcome everyone here today. I particularly commend the Public Accounts Committees of both the Senate and the House of Representatives for the exceptional organization of this vital conference. The outstanding level of participation we see today justifies the dedication and significant investment of time and resources that have been made over the past weeks. The theme of today's conference, Fiscal Governance in Nigeria, Charting a New Course for Transparency and Sustainable Development, is particularly timely. The major sub-themes of our deliberation include effective audit implementation, digital finance tracking, enhanced subnational fiscal oversight, stronger anti-corruption frameworks, sustained capacity building, and deepened fiscal transparency. These are all interconnected strands and share a single aim: to ensure that public funds are properly accounted for and used for the public good. As such, they are not abstract ideals, but reflect urgent priorities in Nigeria's current fiscal landscape and resonate strongly with the legislative agenda of the 10th National Assembly. Recent audit reports revealed that over 300 billion naira of public funds remain unaccounted for. More than 60% of federal ministries, departments, and agencies failed to comply with financial regulations. The reports identify challenges that include unauthorized environments, incomplete audit cycles, institutional leakages, and weak enforcement of rules. The 2024 Subnational Audit Efficacy Index reveals an even more dire situation at the state level. Only 2 states, Yobe and Ekiti, scored above 50% on the index. 21 states failed to publish their 2023 audit reports. Additionally, in most states, the offices of the Auditor General remains financially and administratively dependent on the executive. These issues are not merely institutional failures. They also pose direct threats to service delivery, development, and the credibility of democracy. The 10th House of Representatives has prioritized good governance and anti-corruption measures as key elements of our legislative agenda. Between July 2023 and June 2025, we passed an unprecedented number of bills, many focused on strengthening financial oversight. Notably, the Federal Audit Service Act Amendment Bill 2023 has been passed by the House of Representatives and is awaiting concurrence in the Senate. In fact, this is the 3rd successive time the House has approved this bill, beginning in the 8th Assembly. If enacted, the new law will enhance the independence and capacity of our Supreme Audit Institution, leading to more effective auditing of public accounts and better enforcement of audit recommendations. In 2022, the National Assembly passed the Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Act. In this 10th Assembly, we remain committed to enacting laws that safeguard whistleblowers and witnesses, thereby strengthening the fight against corruption. These efforts complement our financial oversight, And our committees have carried out numerous oversight visits and inspections across ministries and agencies to promote transparency and accountability. The House is considering measures to expedite the audit cycle and formalize post-audit follow-up, ensuring that financial irregularities are addressed promptly and offenders are held accountable. On a broader level, the legislature has shown a strong commitment to supporting initiatives that benefit the ordinary citizens. Our focus has been on economic policies aimed at improving conditions for all. Such actions require bold and decisive leadership, which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu exemplifies. I commend him for his courage, conviction, and consistent support for the work of the National Assembly, always prioritizing the people's best interests. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize that progress at the federal level must also extend to all tiers of government. It is concerning that in many of our states, the public accounts committees remain weak, underfunded, and inactive. As mentioned earlier, in some states, audit reports are neither produced nor published. In others, the public account committees lack the authority or training to carry out proper oversight or analyze audit reports. This underscores the importance of focusing on subnational accountability. To this end, the House of Representatives is collaborating with state houses of assembly to exchange best practices, harmonize oversight procedures, develop standardized pack materials, and provide training. Our aim is to ensure that public officials across all states of the Federation are held accountable and consistent standards of accountability are maintained. Building on this, it has been consistently observed that audit findings should not remain theoretical. They should be applied in practice. They must result in reforms, sanctions, and reforms. Therefore, the 10th House is considering mechanisms that will ensure ministries and agencies report on the implementation of PAC recommendations within designated timelines. It is not sufficient to merely identify irregularities, and there must be consequences. In doing so, we draw inspiration from other jurisdictions. In Ghana, the Auditor General has the constitutional authority to disallow illegal expenditures and surcharge those responsible. It has resulted in recovery of substantial funds. In the United Kingdom, the House of Commons Public Accounts Committee works closely with the National Audit Office. The British government accepts more than 90% of its recommendations and responds through formal Treasury minutes that specify clear timelines for implementation. In Kenya, Parliament has adopted real-time digital tools to monitor audit queries from the Auditor General. The system allows both auditors and legislators to follow up properly and transparently. And finally, Rwanda's achievements in public finance management are also instructive. Its e-procurement and financial disclosure portals have significantly reduced graft and improved the country's standing in global budget transparency. These examples are not just admirable, they are achievable. We can and we must adopt them in our own context. That is why this conference is important. Instead of going in circles, we should focus on refining tools, sharing knowledge, and building consensus for reform. I wish to comment that the House Public Accounts Committee has made significant progress in digitizing its processes, serving as a valuable example of reform. I urge all participants to maximize and actively engage in the various sessions. We welcome experts from the African Parliamentary Network, the West African Association of Public Accounts Committees, and global anti-corruption partners. Their experience will enrich us. I would also like to acknowledge the vital role of civil society and the media. Oversight does not end with the government. It requires the vigilance of an informed public and the determination of a free press. Investigative journalists, data-driven civil society organizations, and ordinary citizens all have a place in the architecture of accountability. We must empower them. Finally, going forward, I wish to outline 5 clear priorities. First, we must pass a national fiscal responsibility and transparency bill. This legislation will enforce prompt audit and budget practices across all levels of government. Second, we must strengthen the Office of the Auditor General with full independence and sufficient resources. Third, we must establish a public finance innovation hub that uses digital tools to monitor public spending. Fourth, we must collaborate closely with the state public accounts committees to ensure regular public hearings and ongoing capacity development. And fifth, we must monitor and publish annual progress reports on financial compliance, audit implementation, and Nigeria's performance on international indices. None of this will be easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. Let me conclude with this note of gratitude. I thank the Senate and Public Accounts Committees for organizing this important national intervention. I thank our partners across the continent and beyond for their active participation. I thank Mr. President for his leadership and his commitment to reform. Through our collective efforts, we can ensure that public funds in our respective countries serve the public good and that transparency is the norm, not the exception. Thank you very much for your kind attention. May God continue to bless Nigeria. Tajuddin Abbas, Speaker, House of Representatives. Thank you very much.
The Speaker, House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON, Ian Zezo, speaking through the Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Professor Julius Ihunvere, CON. Please, can we make that applause for him a bit louder? Thank you. And thank you very much indeed. The rest of us in the hall, only members of the House of Representatives and Senators are clapping. The rest of us in the hall must also understand that clapping is a sign of good health. Yes, I always say this everywhere I go so that people understand the import of clapping. When you clap, according to the University of Philadelphia in the United States, November 2014 research, it says people who clap vigorously when it's important to clap live longer, healthier, youthful, wrinkles-free, ageless, visit doctors less, and in turn it helps to rejuvenate the internal organs in a human body. Please imbibe the culture of clapping. It is healthy to clap. I thank you very much indeed. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a statesman of very rare and uncommon courage. He's got the charisma, he's got the conviction. He's a transformational leader whose bold and inclusive leadership continues to energize the National Assembly and inspires confidence across the nation. He is the uncommon transformer, a voice of a legislative strength, and a symbol of national unity. I'd like you to please join me with a very resounding applause in welcoming the uncommon President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Dr. Godswill Obota-Kpabio, GCON, to deliver his remarks through the Chairman, Senate Committee on Sports, Distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi. Please, can we have that round of applause for His Excellency one more time? Your Excellency, sir.
In the name of God, the most merciful, the most beneficent, Mr. President, Senator Dr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ably represented by the said Minister of Finance, Dr. Doris, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, ably represented by the Senate Leader, the Minority Leader of the Senate, my friend, Honorable Chinda, distinguished senators here present, members of the House of Representatives, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Public Accounts, and his counterpart, the Chairman, House Committee on Public Accounts, the representative of the Head of Service, the Head of Service of Nigeria, the Chairman of the Speakers Conference of Nigeria, and all the speakers from state assemblies here present, the African parliamentarians, and the head of the Public Accounts of African Parliament, our friends and partners, most especially the representative of the ambassador of the United Kingdom, head of agencies here present, a representative of agencies here present, private initiatives, private concerns, and their representatives here present, distinguished members of the press corps, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me, on behalf of the Uncommon Senate President and the Chairman of the National Assembly, Dr. Barrister Gosua Fabio, warmly welcome you into the refurbished and ravishing city of Abuja. It is imperative to underscore the importance of this gathering and to also understand the kind of role being played by the committees of public accounts. The public accounts committees are not only a legislative agenda, they are a creation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and therefore sequel to the powers given by the Constitution to the legislature, most especially Section 80, Section 81, Section 88, gives you a very sweeping powers in bringing to account both governmental and non-governmental issues to bear. Remember that you are given these powers under this Constitution to serve as a check and balances. And that is why conventionally the leadership of these committees are drawn from the opposition parties. And the membership of these two committees are carefully selected to bring professionalism, legislative knowledge to bear. And therefore, because you are specially chosen, you must remember the cardinal objectives of what is legislature in a democracy. The only difference between democracy and military is the presence of the legislature. And therefore, our people that elected you are looking towards you in bringing about that positive change, that checks and balances. It is therefore important, while you are undertaking this assignment, that the country looks towards you to bring about development, to bring about transparency, to bring about equity and to bring about justice. And permit me also to mention that looking back, that the chairman of the Speakers Conference is here, that it is very important that public accounts committees of the state must brace up. The country is not hearing a lot from them, and therefore they must brace up and make a difference. It is imperative to understand that without transparency, without physical discipline, without physical integrity, there will be no genuine development. There must be accountability, and there must be transparency in a manner that the revenues of the nation is spent. It is the duty of the Public Accounts Committee and other committees of the legislature to track revenues, how they are collected, how they are kept, and how they are disseminated. It is these track revenues that are appropriated. And therefore, once appropriated, it is equally the duty of this Public Accounts Committee, most especially, to track the implementation of these revenues, the implementations of appropriations. The public account is not only about auditors general queries. The public account are saddled with status inquiry, meaning if you look at section 88 of the Constitution, it gives you a swift leverage to invite any agency, any minister, and in fact anybody, regardless of whether he's associated with government or not. You can call him at any time to explain things that you're not comfortable with. We understand the challenges when it comes to the invitation, particularly invitations made by the Public Accounts Committee. It's imperative we watch with worries and concern. Some agencies deliberately refuse to attend or to appear before the committees of the public accounts and very many other committees. But at this juncture, it is about the Public Accounts Committee. I want to emphasize to the leadership of these committees, we must do whatever it takes to put a stop to this non-appearance, that the head of service is there and other head of agencies. Let's all take cognizance of the powers of the National Assembly under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, that the legislature have various options as to who and how things will be done. We call on our partners, especially those from the developing countries, to understand and notice our challenges. And I pray that this conference will usher in various options as to how to go about dealing with the local issues in Nigeria. In particular, about knowledge, in particular, about the wherewithal to be able to do this job. The legislature is being incapacitated in very many ways into doing its own job. The legislature cannot go into CVN, NNPC, Federal Inland Revenue Service, without having the wherewithal in terms or the expertise to do this job. And therefore, from this conference, we need to understand and we need to be rich as how to go about it. Of other importance is the issue of technology. What do we do to be able to do an oversight of over 250 million Nigerians with this expanse of land? So your duty is big, is challenging, but you must do whatever it takes to make a difference, because there is a contract between you and the general public that elected you. There is also an understanding between you and the leadership of the two chambers to deliver. And we look forward to seeing you more active than what you are doing. We need to see results. The general public need to see the difference. We need to see the values the public account adds to the promotion of democracy. Without accountability, there will be no prosperity. Without discipline, physically, there will be no development. And therefore, at every given time, the legislature is saddled with this onerous responsibility to make the difference, to add value, to bring development, to bring equity to the general public. It is on this note that I welcome you once again to the beautiful city of Abuja, and that we look forward to having you in our presence for the next 3 days, as we believe this conference will usher in a new beginning. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we invite for the next item on the agenda, let me properly recognize the Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on University Education, Honorable Abubakar Asanfulata. You're welcome, sir. And of course, Honorable Kafilat Adetola Ogbara. She is the Chair, House of Representatives Committee on Women Affairs. Honorable Abdul Mumin Mohamed Ari from Nasarawa State, and of course, Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi, Ikara Kubahu Federal Constituency, Kaduna State, Honorable Abdul Karim Husseini Ahmed, Honorable Guacham Morin, Oyi Ayamelum Federal Constituency of Anambra State.
And we have more recognitions here. Ahmed Jaha from Chibok, Damboa, Gwoza constituency of Borno State.
And we also have with us the presence of Honorable Representative Ete Okbolum, representing Eket Ona, Eset Eket Ebieno, Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Honorable and Representative Guacham Morin Chinwe, representing Oyi Ayamelum, Federal Constituency of Anambra State, and the Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Public Accounts, Honorable Jerry Umaru. We welcome you. And Mutu John Ebiseke, who hosted the dinner last night, is of the Africa Parliamentary Resource Center. We'd like to welcome you. Please put your hands together for all of them. I have also pleaded with the representative of the #1 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Minister of State Finance, to please tarry with us a while, taking into cognizance the exigencies of your office. So we'll just introduce one side attraction very quickly for just less than 3 minutes. We'll be done with that, and then, of course, it'll be time for us to bring on the special guest of honor.
Let me also recognize the presence of Honorable Princess Chinwe Nabwife. You're welcome, ma. Representative Matthew Mwogu from Imo State is also here. Honorable Jinja Nwusibe from Abia State, you're welcome. Honorable Ahmed Saba from Kwara State, you're also welcome. Thank you.
Let me quickly recognize the presence of Honorable Abdul Wahaman Ajie from Gogolada, Kuje, Abaji, and Kwali constituency. All right, so there's a lost but found item here is someone's ID card from the Presidency, Bureau of Public Procurement, Kanu P. Chukuma. If this is you, please come collect your ID card with proof of ownership. Bring your NIN, bring your bank statement. All right, okay, so that was just a joke. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's you. All right, it's you. All right, let's get ready for some colors for rhythm and pure Nigerian magic. Please, with so much joy and excitement, all the way from the Power State, in Niger State, we have the Guape International Cultural Group to entertain us now. Let's welcome them with a round of applause as we swing to the rhythm of Nigerian music. So you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
It is only through good governance, only through good governance, that we can have a way forward in our society as a people. That is it. Wait, my sister. How do we achieve this good governance? It's not all about talking about good governance, good governance. What are the things we need to put in place to acquire this good governance?
My sister, for any government to be able to thrive very well, its fiscal policy has to be properly managed. Exactly, my brother. By fiscal governance, we simply mean a proper management of a country or organization, financial resources, such as budgeting, revenue management, expenditure management, and accountability.
This fiscal governance, as you all know, is in line with the President's Renewed Hope agenda because it promotes transparency, ensure accountability, enable efficiency to support economic stability. And that is not all. As an accountant, we must all key into this initiative and development. We must all key into this to better our organization, to better our management.
The dawn of a new day. This program will not be complete without appreciating these men of dignity and honor. Our amiable Senator Ahmed Ali Wadata, the Chairman Public Account Committee, Nigerian Senate and Reps, Sarkin Yaki Kefi, Yabango ni Yazama Dole, Muntinchina Makaranka Shidede, and our capacity leader, Honorable Bamidele Salam, Chairman Public Account, Reps, Awagwabe, Akingbe, Ekabo, you are all welcome. To the organizers of this program, we say you have done a great job. More grace to you all. Guape International, from Niger State. Let's give them a bit of our culture.
You're on live to GTV Africa, live from Abuja. You're on live to GTV Africa.
Awesome.
In Abuja.
Unfortunately, time wouldn't permit us to be able to give them more time because,
like I said,
award-winning cultural troop
for opportunity
all the way
to have
from Niger
interviews.
State, and this troop was actually birthed by the former president of the Senate, Senator Dr. David Aleche Bonaventure Mark, whilst he held sway as the governor, military governor of Niger State. Please let's give them another resounding applause.
You're on live to GTV Africa, live from Abuja.
Thank you very much. At this point, I'd like to just very quickly recognize Honorable Ahmed Jaha. He has been recognized already. Honorable Chinedu Emeka Martin, Imo State. Honorable Dr. Anthony Adebayo Adebojo, PhD, is a Deputy Chairman, House Committee in Federal Character. We welcome all of you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
This is a joint sitting of
this conference
Senate
is greatly honored by
House
the
of
presence through
Representatives
worthy representation of a visionary leader, a master strategist, a tireless nation builder. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A man we all know is renowned for mentoring leaders and championing reforms that have reshaped governance and economic thinking in our nation. Representing His Excellency as this dynamic event. He is a dynamic technocrat, an accomplished public servant, one who brings to this role that she is playing today a blend of intellect, reform-mindedness, and a deep understanding of Nigeria's fiscal landscape. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to please join me in welcoming very warmly the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, as she delivers the President's special remarks and formally declares this conference open. We can do better with a standing ovation for His Excellency the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who will be speaking through the Honorable Minister of State for Finance. Please, a round of applause one more time. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Please, you may be seated. The Secretary of the Government of the Federation, ably represented. The Senate President, also ably represented. The Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Reps, also represented. Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State and other representatives of governors who are present. Members of the National Assembly, especially the Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee of both houses. Honorable Ministers and members of the Federal Executive Council. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, my own dear sister, Dr. Didi Walsinjak, permanent secretaries, heads of agencies here present, ambassadors and representatives of the diplomatic community, development partners, civil society organizations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of various state executive councils, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor here and a privilege to represent His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and I'm here to deliver his goodwill message. It is my honor and privilege to address this distinguished gathering at the 2025 National Conference on Public Accounts and Fiscal Governance. I thank the organizers for their unwavering commitment to the ideals of accountability, transparency, and public sector efficiency. The theme of this year's conference, Fiscal Governance in Nigeria, charting a new course for transparency and sustainable development, could not be more apt or timely. It resonates deeply with the aspirations of our administration to reset the fundamentals of Nigeria's public finance architecture and steer the nation towards a path of resilience, inclusive growth, and sustainable development. The truth is simple but very sobering. Fiscal governance is the lifeblood of national development. Without accountability, transparency, and effective resource management, no nation, no matter how richly endowed, can achieve sustainable growth or meet the needs of its citizens. For far too long, Nigeria's economy has been burdened by structural inefficiencies, fiscal leakages, and an over-reliance on oil revenues. The result has been underinvestment in key sectors, debt vulnerabilities, and limited capacity for social spending. But we are not here today to dwell on the challenges of the past. We are here to chart a new course. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are at a critical juncture in our nation's history. Over the past year, my administration has taken bold and necessary decisions that are already defining the fiscal landscape of Nigeria. One such decision was the removal of the petroleum subsidy, a long-standing policy that had, over time, become a significant drain on public finances, riddled with inefficiency, opacity, and abuse. While this reform came with understandable pains, especially for our most vulnerable citizens, it was a vital step to free up fiscal space for investment in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and social protection. Indeed, in 2022 alone, Nigeria spent over 4 trillion on fuel subsidies, more than reallocated to capital expenditure. This was not only fiscally unsustainable, it was unjust. A subsidy that disproportionately benefited the affluent, encouraged smuggling, and breeded inefficiency was neither equitable nor strategic. Since its removal, we have redirected those funds into targeted interventions, expanding our social safety nets, improving public transportation, and financing critical infrastructure projects. Most importantly, we have strengthened our fiscal buffers, making Nigeria more resilient to external shocks. Our commitment remains steadfast to ensure that the gains of this difficult yet necessary reform are redirected towards building a Nigeria that works for everyone. Moreover, the tax reform laws recently assented was another milestone of our administration and in our journey towards sustainable fiscal governance. And I must commend and thank the National Assembly for their sterling role that you played in the passage of these laws. These reforms are designed to, 1, widen the tax base by integrating the informal sector, 2, simplify compliance for small and medium-sized enterprises, digitize revenue collection to reduce human interference and eliminate leakages, and 4, harmonize multiple taxes to make doing business easier in Nigeria. A modern, transparent, and fair tax system is not just a revenue tool, it is a governance imperative. Through these reforms, we are building the foundation of a self-sustaining economy, one where reliance on volatile oil revenues will gradually give way to a more diverse and inclusive revenue base. Ladies and gentlemen, another central policy objective of my administration is our unwavering commitment to strengthening and revitalizing the Nigerian economy through a strategic process of diversification. We recognize that sustainable economic growth depends on reducing over-reliance on oil revenues and developing a broader range of productive sectors. To this end, agriculture, manufacturing, digital services, renewable energy, mining, and the creative economy have been identified as key pillars of this transformation. These sectors are receiving targeted investments, policy reforms, and infrastructural support aimed at boosting productivity, creating jobs, and fostering inclusive economic development across the country. We have launched a new wave of strategic initiatives, including the establishment of the National Credit Guarantee Company, aimed at encouraging local production, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, and deepening Nigeria's non-oil export base. These efforts go beyond mere economic metrics. They are fundamental, and they are creating jobs, fostering innovation, building economic resilience, and most importantly, strengthening our national security and long-term stability. We also recognize that sound fiscal governance cannot thrive in isolation of monetary stability. There is better coordination now between the fiscal and monetary sides. This alignment is crucial as we have seen them taming inflation, stabilizing the naira, and restoring investor confidence. I want to commend the team, especially the central bank, for ensuring the stability of the foreign exchange. We are determined to reduce inflationary pressures by addressing structural bottlenecks, particularly in food supply chains, while exercising discipline in fiscal or public spending. Let me be clear, transparency and accountability are not optional. They are prerequisites for fiscal sustainability. Thus, we have strengthened the role of the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, enhanced the framework for procurement transparency, and expanded the use of digital financial management systems across ministries, departments, and agencies. However, fiscal governance is not only about policy, it is about accountability and trust. That is why we have also invested in technologies like the Integrated Payments and Personnel Information System, IPIS, the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, GIFMIS, and the Open Treasury Portal. These platforms ensure that the public funds are traceable, public officers are accountable, and the Nigerian people are empowered with information. We must move from opacity to openness, from suspicion to confidence. In this regard, I call on the National Assembly and especially the Public Accounts Committees to continue discharging their constitutional responsibilities with integrity, courage, and independence. Oversight is not a political tool. It is a patriotic duty. Nigeria's ambition for sustainable development demands strategic investments in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and job creation. But these goals are unattainable without responsible budgeting and spending. Every project must be guided by value for money, and every budget must reflect the real priorities of our people. Furthermore, I must mention that fiscal governance cannot be effective without active citizen engagement. Nigerians must be empowered to ask questions, scrutinize public accounts, and demand accountability. I therefore urge the civil society, the media, and the general public to partner with government in this journey, not as spectators, but as co-owners of the national project. Fellow Nigerians, good governance is a shared responsibility. The role of Parliament in oversight, the judiciary in upholding the rule of law, and the media in public enlightenment, civil society in advocacy, and the citizens in participation are all essential to building a Nigeria that is physically strong and socially just. We must institutionalize good governance, not as an aspiration, but as a standard. We must build institutions that are independent, efficient, and empowered to hold power to account. Let this conference serve not just as a forum for dialogue, but as a catalyst for action. Let it produce recommendations that will further strengthen our public financial management system and place Nigeria firmly on the path to economic sovereignty. As we chart this new course together, let me assure you, this administration is unwavering in its resolve to rebuild the public trust in government through transparent and responsible fiscal governance. We are laying the foundation not just for today, but for the future generations of Nigerians to inherit a nation that is prosperous, accountable, and truly sovereign in its economic destiny. Let us move together. Let us move forward together with courage, commitment, and faith in the Nigerian spirit. I hereby declare this conference open. Thank you very much, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
If I were in your shoes for the President speaking through the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, I'd like that we please give her another thunderous, resounding applause as you also stand to receive her back to her seat. Thank you very, very much, the Honorable Minister of State, speaking for the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Quickly, we'll be having a group photograph before you take leave of us, man. But just before then, please permit me to run through this list of distinguished members of the House of Representatives that are here. Comrade, first of all, I'd like to start by recognizing Right Honorable Marcus Onobum, Chairman, House Committee on Rural Development. We welcome you. Honorable Isiaka Abiodun Akinlade, we also appreciate your presence. We recognize the presence, Honorable Chief Commissioner, PCC. We welcome you. Comrade Ezenwa Nwagu, Executive Director, Parker. Professor Fataya Remu, Executive Director, Reese. Dr. Oracle Nwala, MNI, Federal Commissioner, Tax Tribunal, Southeast. Dr. Chibuzo Okere is also this consultant to the Committee on Public Accounts, House of Reps, and his counterpart from the Senate. We'd like to appreciate all of them. Alhaji Umar A.B. Salih, who is Honorable Commissioner, National Assembly Service Commission, standing in for Dr. Savio Eikere, who chairs the National Assembly Service Commission. Time for the group photograph. I'd like to invite the Senate President, represented, the Speaker, represented, Minority Leader, and of course the Accountant General of the Federation, Auditor General of the Federation, Chairman, Speakers Conference, the Controller General, Immigration Service. Please join them for this photograph. Chairman, and of course the Head of Civil Service, and our guest from Uganda, the representative of the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, ICPC, Yes, you will stand on this lower platform, and then honorable members of the House of Representatives in your numbers. I don't think we'll be able to take all of you at one time, so we'll take in batches. But the Clerk House of Representatives, Barrister Yahya Danzaria, please join us here. And representative of governors, some of you can come up here. Some of you can come up here. Please stand behind them. Honorable Jaha, we appreciate you. Speakers of Honorable Minister of State Humanitarian Affairs, I was looking out for you. Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, we appreciate your presence here. Please, some of you can wait. We'll take the second batch. If you can't be part of this photograph at this time, just wait. We'll take a second batch. Please, if you intend to be part of the pictures and you want to be seen, I think it's best to stand down and wait for the second batch. The second batch is coming up very shortly. Careful, sir. Thank you. If you intend to wait a bit, we are going to be inviting commissioners of finance from the states, auditors general from the states, chairman, House of Assembly committees on public accounts. The speakers are already here. Please, if you don't mind, wait for the second batch so that you can be part of this picture. Thank you. The president will remain, the chairman will remain, immigration's CG will remain, chairman of the committees will remain, British High Commissioner, distinguished senators can join in for those who are not part of this first photograph. The rest of us from the state assemblies, auditors general from the states, commissioners of finance from the states,
live from Abuja, and I will be conducting an interview with some of the participants at this event.
The House of Assemblies can come now for their turn.
Within this period,
Deputy Chairman, Electoral Matters, welcome you. Honorable Muhammad Sokoto will welcome you. Please, if you can't be part of this photograph, you can wait for the third batch. We have here the third batch, and after this third batch, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, will be going out for a 20-minute tea break, and then we'll reconvene after 20 minutes. The next set of members that were not part of this picture can come up now, please. Those who were not part of this picture, Mr. President, representative, please tarry with us a while. Tarry with us a while. Can we just make space? Can we make way for her? Pave way for her, please. Let's take the next batch. Pictures, photographers, please. The very last batch. The very last batch of pictures. Can we have you now?
question and answer.
The head of civil service, the head of civil service of the Federation, we still want you to join His Excellency's representative for the last batch. The last batch. Women honorable members that are here. Women honorable members. Women honorable members. Can we have this picture? This will be the last batch. Thank you, and thank you very much indeed. We'll reconvene after 20 minutes. National anthem before the president leaves us, please. Whilst this picture is taking place, national anthem, very quickly, we have some military officers joining us. Can you join us quickly, please? AVM Maman and Brigadier General. Please, tell me those around for the service chiefs. Can we have the national anthem to bring this opening ceremonies? I've announced that. Our tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria's own and proud. to serve our sovereign motherland. Just the first stanza, kill it. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the representative of the President, the military officers want to have a picture with you.
Don't worry.
Please, can we do this? If the CG Immigrations is still here.
Like I said, we'll be having
CG Kemi Nandap, the President's representative, wants you to join the women and the military officers here, man. Sorry, man. Can you give her a little breathing space? She's coming to join in. Hold on, photographers, quickly. CG Immigrations, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. CG Immigrations, please. Okay, photographers, please. Quickly, quickly. Head of Civil Service. Madam, please join. Please pray for the head of Civil Service, sir. Madam, please this way, ma'am. This way, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, yes. We have to appear. Photographers, please pity also. You are there. Committee chairman, consultants, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, please, tea break is for just 20 minutes, and we expect that we reconvene at exactly 1:30. We'll be reconvening at 1:30. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And on behalf of my colleagues that works with me, Abubakar and Lara, I am Andy, and we want to see you back in 30 minutes. 20 minutes time, I beg your pardon. Bon appetit as we go for tea break.
They were acting the general public and of course the heads of different parastatals, ministry, department agencies. That we are here for the benefits of the system. We need to build a good working system, build an institution. Once we can create and strengthen the institution across board, then definitely we'll be able to deliver the democracy and good governance to the grassroots. So we're happy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'll still be finding out from others while I expect my studio people to bring down the other volume so that I can have a good audio. But notwithstanding, I have enough lawmakers around here and they are members of the Public Accounts Committee. I'll be taking them one after the other. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You know, I have the deputy here. The deputy. Your name?
My name is Honorable Jeremiah Umoru, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Public Accounts Committee of the House of Reps.
This is the first time that we're having this kind of conference. How do you feel with your members?
So we're very excited, we're very happy to host this program, this conference, at a point where the federal government, the government of Nigeria, is bringing a lot of reforms, especially in the financial sector, especially in the fiscal sector, fiscal system of Nigeria. And like the theme, fiscal governance in Nigeria, you know, it's apt, it's very relevant, and by the grace of God, we believe that the fiscal system will properly, because when there is accountability, when there is transparency in the way and manner public fund is being managed, I tell you, the system, the Nigerian system will work. So that is one of the key cardinal points of organizing this conference.
Well, I'm not going to let only him talk. I have all the members in the house, but one after the other, they are going to say their mind. Sir, how do you feel having this kind of conference?
In fact, my name is Mohammed. I really appreciate the effort of our committee chairman, both House and Senate, and the other members who are themselves to come to attend this important gathering, this Public Account Committee. We really appreciate.
Thank you so much. Honorable, you are participating for the first time of this kind of event. Do you think it's good?
It's good for the transparency and the accountability for the country, because our public accounting system needed to be overhauled and taken seriously so that the public have confidence in all the people that are running the economy and the country. Thank you.
Well done, sir. Your name?
My name is Honorable Jafar Leko. I represent Ogoro Dastafa Balea and a very proud member of PAC, House of Reps.
This is the first time we are having this kind of activities where the Public Account Committee of National Assembly, because the Senate and House of Reps, combine together to have a conference of this nature. Do you think Nigeria is going to benefit from it?
Yes, first of all, I want to appreciate the chairman of both committee for bringing in this for the first time and for their commitment as public servants. And this will go a long way to provide transparency and accountability, because it's not all about Nigeria, it's not all about West Africa, it's about Africa. So it means we are going forward, and it shows that there is hope for Nigeria.
I want to find out the leadership of the two chairmen, the Senate and the House of Reps. Do you see them conducting the activities of the Public Affairs, Public Accounts Committee properly?
Well, I think as a journalist, you are also a witness. For them to even bring up this, it means they are committed and they are working in harmony. And yesterday, if you are there, when they are making their statement, they call themselves brothers. So they are working collectively, and for the first time, the PAC, House of Reps, recovered billions of dollars to the coffers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So they are working hard, and I want to appreciate myself and all members of PAC, both in House and Senate. For the first time, they are serious about what they are doing, and we want to appreciate the leadership for all the necessary.
Thank you so much for your time.
Honorable Jafar Leko. I represent Ogoro Dastafa Balea. I'm from Bauchi State.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, you've just listened to what some of them had in mind as regards to the conference. We continue to stream and show you what is going on right in the house here. This first section may be coming to an end while we come back for the other technical section. My name is Bemiga Olamikon. I have with me Nathaniel Ofen. At the back there is Babatunde Atunda, Sogo Joseph, and Praise Ofen. Thank God is also behind the camera, and lots of others that are walking at the back of the camera there. You are only seeing me. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. All these other social media, subscribe to them, like them, and follow up. We bring to you as it is, as it's going on. That's what we bring for you. Undiluted story, undiluted. We don't have business with fake. We are the sing, and we bring that to you. Because of that, subscribe to our channel for you to get more. This is GTV Africa, and GTV Africa is an online TV, internationally acknowledged and recognized. Till I come back again, I'm Bemiga Olamide.